Hello there. The EU has finally let on that its budget hopes will be shattered without a sizeable injection of UK cash. The €37 billion that goes to Spain, as well as the €43 billion for Italy, could well be under threat after Brexit, according to confidential papers from the European Commission, reports The Express. So unless the bloc can extract a sizeable Brexit settlement figure from the UK, it looks like there will be a lot of infighting to come. Then we'll see what EU solidarity and we all speak as one really looks like. As Jacob Rees-Mogg points out, if we say that we are not continuing to contribute without a deal to the last 21 months of the multi-annual financial framework, then the EU has a huge hole in its budget. It has no legal ability to borrow, and it is effectively insolvent for that period. So I would say to people who say we're not going to get on to the second stage, well, that's fine, but then you haven't got any money for 21 months. Where are you going to get it from? Is Germany going to pay more, or is Poland going to receive less? It's a really strong negotiating position. But while Brussels may be in a rather dire financial position, it still takes the time to fire off threats and demands at the UK. Michel Barnier, the EU chief Brexit negotiator, has warned that UK banks will lose their passporting rights to operate in the EU as a consequence of Brexit. Speaking at the Centre for European Reform, now there's a contradiction in terms, he said that there was no legal way that an exception can be made. Brussels will never compromise on financial stability in the EU and would not relax rules that insist on single market membership and ECJ control for passporting to be allowed, he said. Talking of financial stability, there doesn't seem to be much of that in the EU lately. Just look at Greece and the Italian banks for a start. Then there's the looming Brexit black hole. In reply to Michel Barnier, the UKIP MEP Gerard Batten said, "Barnier is huffing, puffing and bluffing. The EU needs the City of London more than it needs the EU. Simply put, the EU cannot afford to lose access to the city's expertise since it raises 85% of pan-European capital financing. Third countries working in the financial sector already rely on global regulatory equivalence, not EU legal subservience. And we already know that the EU is intent on taxing financial transactions, so good luck with that one. But it doesn't stop there. The EU is also demanding that we stay in line with their rules, or we stand to lose any trade deal. Once again, that's Barnier dictating to the UK. I wonder if the EU goes around the world demanding that other countries bow to them before they will set up a trade deal. Did Japan yield? Would the USA yield? The UK must not yield either. As Peter Bones said about paying the EU on Sky today, £1 is too much. There is no legal obligation whatsoever for us to pay any money. We are net contributors, over £200 billion over the years to the European Union superstate. If anyone should get any money from this divorce, it's us. The idea we would pay £38 billion is absurd. I was at a meeting yesterday with constituents and they said, look Peter, if you've got £38 billion available, use it to support the NHS. I find that a pretty strong argument. Now on to science. You know, the industry that Remainers say we are going to imminently lose. It actually looks like the UK could start launching US rockets into space as part of a trade deal, says The Telegraph. The UK has already started moves to get back into the space race and has ambitions to build a spaceport that commercial operators can use. Although the UK is not geographically best placed to take advantage of boost from the Earth's rotation, the UK Space Agency believes it can still service certain needs. A UK space agency spokesperson said, "There is a global shift towards a more diverse commercial launch market, and a sharp rise in demand for launch services is expected from 2020 onwards. The UK is well placed to service this demand. We have the right geography, industry and environment to host commercial launch services to polar and sun synchronous orbits." Considering we got out of the space race 50 years ago, the UK actually has a thriving small satellite industry, employing 40,000 people and worth about £11 billion a year to the UK economy. The ability to also launch spacecraft would certainly give that a boost. So, despite a potentially bankrupt, crumbling wannabe superstate blowing hot air, the real signs are good for the UK post-Brexit. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.